It's a story.
It hurts my head every time I think about it.
It's a story.
YE is coming.
YE. Let's see. Yo, every day. Yo, what's up?
5 seconds. Here we go.
Market minutes is 79564. That's market minutes is 79564.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez. It's good to have you with us. On today's show, we got lots to talk about, including the latest from Biden and Afghanistan. Some very interesting information. I know many of you probably saw the information he shared yesterday, and I know we were looking at it as well. A lot of questions on what's going to happen with Australia. What is the situation there? Some things that we know now about ISIS, and of course, what it is the U.S. is planning on doing, which is the good thing, which is we're going to strike back. That's the very important thing. Again, not being able to just take it. Lying down is probably one of the smartest things to do going forward. You've got ISIS-K, which is the ISIS affiliate in Afghanistan. I don't know how many ISIS numbers they need. ISIS-A, ISIS-B, ISIS-C, ISIS-Ds. President Biden said that he has ordered up plans to strike ISIS-K targets following the attack near the Kabul airport. Biden said to those who carried out this attack, as well as anyone who wishes America harm, know this: we will not forgive. We will not forget. We will hunt you down and make you pay. ISIS and Khorasan, known as ISIS-K, claimed that an ISIS militant carried out the suicide attack, but provided no evidence to support the claim. U.S. officials have been warning over the past week that a threat of terror attack at the airport was becoming more acute. U.S. diplomats in Kabul warned American citizens to immediately leave several brigades into the airport, citing security threats. Who are ISIS-K? ISIS-Khorasan is a branch of the terror group that first emerged in Syria and Iraq. So there you go. Lots of crazy stuff happening there. Are we going to do the thing that is needed most there? That's the question next. What's going to happen to the people there, especially those remaining? And what are happening to those that are, many call friends and affiliates, literally, that have been trying to help this town. Now, I did see something, Jesse, and I thought it was interesting. It was a picture of Afghanistan in the 50s and, oh no, it was the 60s and 70s. Certain images of people in that area. And I have to admit, it almost looked like there were no Habibs, there was no odd dressing. It almost looked like 50s and 60s dress here, or 60s and 70s, but it was like dress here. Does that make sense?
Really
Yeah.
interesting. I was not aware of that. It's interesting how time changes. Like if you go back in time and look at pictures of like, say, what, New York City, on how everybody dressed, how like suits and stuff, and then look at the way we dress now. It's like, whoa, it's a big change.
Yeah, and it was odd enough. I mean, it was on YouTube, and it was photos of the of Afghanistan in the 60s and 70s. And if you have a chance, I do recommend that you go see it, because it just goes to show what can happen after some time. And I'm going to try to show a bit of the photo collage.
Writing's not that easy, but
if
Grammarly
possible,
can
because
help.
it gave me
This
a
sentence
glimpse
is
into
grammatically
something
correct.
that was really missing for people to see. And what I mean by that is, when you think of Afghanistan and you think of the people of Afghanistan, what pictures come to your head first and foremost, Jesse?
Um, Honestly, I have no idea. I just keep thinking desert because I really don't know much about Afghanistan and the history. So I really don't know what the buildings used to look like back in the days.
Yeah.
So complete blank to me.
Yeah, that's what I said too. That's exactly what I said. And I was like, okay, but I came across this, and thank God for like YouTube streaming, right? And I was like, okay, YouTube streaming really kind of gave me a little bit of something. And I was kind of amazed. I'm not going to lie. Here is what I want people to see, just a minute, because, you know, I Google images of the 60s and 70s. I'm going to show this because my mom and I were looking at this, and well, of being arrived, you're seeing.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Mystery Scoop. In today's video, we invite you to watch a collection of perspective-altering photos of Afghanistan in the 1960s and 70s. Some of them may surprise you. Let's have a look.
The is if this thing, yeah, in the 19 picture of that look like they're here, like in Pasadena. 1960s, women in skirts, granted not they're regular skirts, like looks like a boys and girls sitting and learning together in a classroom. You can tell that the time is more like maybe late 60s. Ones trying to learn, you know, something, and they're just of fashion lost in time. Hands and wearing a skirt. Here is, and it's hard on this picture with the hijab. If you see the woman in the hijab, and she almost blends in with the door, but she's of the wearing business attire. Looks like the background. Here's some more young female students.
I almost didn't notice a person in the.
Yeah, you almost didn't see her eye. You're like,
wow. Yeah. These photos are just like really shocking and amazing, because if you were to show me these photos, I would not say these pictures were from Afghanistan.
This is the Kabul University students that graduated in the 1960s.
So what happened?
What's your question, Jesse?
Period that there and time period now, because it almost it just looks, I don't know, completely different.
Yeah, there's pre-war Afghanistan and pre-war Afghanistan, which look like here. It looks like the U.S. Okay, Afghan students walking to class dressed again. Actually, looks like an ex of mine. Oddly enough, really. Women are learning, they're in education, they're in training. So the question is, and gear. What happened? University in the 50s and 60s, they're advanced, they're learning, and that are learning. What happened? Why can't we show these type of things? Students wearing mini skirts walking down the street in Kabul 1972. The people were free. What happened? This is a road tripping in Afghanistan in 1968. That looks like a peaceful, colossal photo, right, Jesse?
It really does. These pictures are really blowing my mind, because it's just like, yeah, the pictures nowadays out of Afghanistan do not look anything like this.
go wrong? If this was the U.S., this is the Afghanistan of just a couple of years. Come on, this family's dressed in their finest. They look like they're going to church. Maybe their place of worship. There's an Intercontinental Hotel in the 1970s. Everybody's relaxed. Kids got their bathing suits on. This country. This is what is more normal of the time then. People, here's what I'm saying. We've got family here. All right? These look like your brothers and sisters, probably your grandpops, your mom, your dad of the 50s. Right, Jesse? Isn't that what you see? Isn't that what you think?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I'm just looking at pictures from the 60s and 70s, and you cannot really tell where these pictures are coming from. But it's just like I could not even tell that these people were in Afghanistan, because I don't see the what would you call them, hijabs?
Yeah.
Okay,
the full clothing that they make women wear if they're married, right? That's what you have to wear.
Like I'm okay with people wearing stuff for their religion and things, but it just seems like totally backwards from the way it was and the way it is now.
Yeah. Well, it really is.
What the heck? What the heck happened?
And I would almost like, if I were of the people of Afghanistan, I would say, can't we have this? Isn't this what we had? This is pretty average. Come on. What's wrong with the Taliban? The Taliban have put the country into robes like that of Jerusalem back in days. Like, that's what I see. I see an Israel of old. And I see a regressed people, not a progressed people. And I see America going, well, we're out of here. That is not the way to be. Come on. This is the wrong way to go about it. You're letting a terrorist organization take hold of people that just want to be free. That's not the way to be. And yeah, that's exactly what we're finding. Anyway, I saw that. My mom and I were saying it.
Their capability or requirement.
I want to spread some of that information out there. They have hope if we know how to give it to them. We got to give it back. Imagine this area being, 40, 50 years from now, us all kind of being oppressed and, invaded by an army from, another country. And then we're all forced to be like in, I don't know, the medieval, well, actually people like medieval times. I don't know about that one. Especially you, Jesse, you probably would like swords and medieval times of being, right? What century would you go back to?
I like certain aspects of the medieval times, but to be honest, I'd rather live in a place where we have functional toilets. Let's be real. I want to sit down. I don't want to wipe my butt with leaves and stuff. So
it doesn't work. I've tried it.
I'll pick an era where we have functioning toilets.
Got it. I understand. You don't want to sit on a hole where it just drops. Don't look. Yeah, look, here's what I'm saying. Afghanistan has gone backwards in time. If we're already there, it's our turn to move it forward in time. Because if the ISIS can attack with us there, what's going to happen when U.S. is gone? Here's what you need to know. We'll talk about the 13 U.S. service members that have died as a result of the attack. We'll talk about that next here on the morning show. So keep your comments coming. Let us know what's happening. It's Friday, as Rosalie says in social media. She says yes. All right, we're excited. We're looking forward to it. We'll talk about that next here on the morning show. Stay tuned.
All right, we're on break.
Yeah, if you guys, I'm going to show you guys how I know people are going to want to check this out on their own. I'll probably post it. Fascinating photos of Afghanistan in the 1960s and 1970s. That's all you have to type in. You'll see everything. I'll bring it up a little bit more. Might lock up a little because you see that. I mean, that's camping. All right, that right there. Typical camping thing you would find yourself in, right? I mean, look at the background. I mean, the place to, trip up a bowl to Peshawar. Yep, pretty normal people. Pretty normal people. That just want to be free. Come on, education. Come on, really? Yeah. Burqas. I think they're called burqas too, right? Yeah, burqas. Are they called? All right, let's see. Hijabs. Let's see. Hijab. A hijab. A hijab is a religious veil worn by Muslim women in the presence of any male outside of their immediate family, which usually covers the hair, head, and chest. The term can refer to any hair, head, face, or body covering worn by Muslim women that conforms to Islamic standards of modesty. Hijab can also refer to the seclusion of women from men in the public sphere, or it may denote a metaphysical, oh, look at this, dimension. For example, referring to the veil which separates man of the world from God. Well, that makes sense. I'd want to disappear into an eighth dimension, I guarantee it. For some in the Quran, Hadith, and the other classical Arabic texts, the term khimar in Arabic was used to denote a headscarf, and hijab was used to denote a partition, a curtain, or was used generally for the Islamic rules of modesty and dress for females. Basically, they wanted to cover up their ladies from looking on to the men. Or was it the other way around, from letting the men look at the women? Because you saw the women. They were pretty beautiful, right?
I think it was because the men can't control themselves. 20 seconds.
You know what? I'll go with that. They still can't, right? Raping and pillaging. Oh, yeah, that's what they're doing. It's called control, people. You know what I say? Save them. And the families. Because I guarantee you, if you're a man over there and you got a woman that is beautiful, they're going to be like, let me see her.
2 seconds. Here we go.
Right. Welcome back to the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez. I want to give some perspective really quick because I'm always about, figuring out how people view things and what is the background of certain people before I start speaking. Sometimes I put my foot in my mouth. Sometimes they go, prove me wrong. I might be wrong on this. I've learned a little, and I don't want to offend anybody, of Muslim faith, that of a Muslim or that practice that of Islam. The question in social media was, what are they called, right? And I called it a hijab, right? And I think I got it right. A hijab is a religious veil worn by Muslim women in the presence of any male outside of their immediate family, which usually covers the hair, head, and chest, right? Okay, so that makes sense. Technically, in Christian faith, there's called a head covering, actually. So we kind of remember that. It's called a form of reverence for headship of said man in a particular situation. A head covering would be worn by a woman. A head covering, all right? But the term can refer to any hair, head, face, or body covering. Did you see that? Any hair, the term can refer to any hair, head, face, or body covering worn by Muslim women that conforms to Islamic standards of modesty. Okay, I get it. So like in the 50s, remember they had the headdress and you put a little headdress on and that's cute. All right, a hijab can also refer to the seclusion of women from men in the public sphere, or it may denote a metaphysical dimension, for example, referring to the veil which separates man or the world from God. I'm pretty sure unless you can cross dimensions, it doesn't work that way. But I'll go with it. For some in the Quran, Hadith, and other classical Arabic texts, the term khimar was used to denote a headscarf. Well, that makes sense. A headscarf is different than a whole full body suit, right? Isn't that a full body suit? I'm just saying. Right, Jesse? I mean, am I wrong on that? I could be wrong.
I have no idea, but burqa is also another name for a full body covering. So
Okay. All right.
there's multiple names for these things.
Yeah. Hijab was used to denote a partition, a curtain. Trust me, it's like a curtain put on you. Where you cannot see if it's a man or a woman. I think it's a way for men to hide from other men. Did you ever see Bosom Ladies? Or what was it? Bosom? What was it called? Bosom Buddies. With Tom Hanks?
I'm gonna say no, because I'm assuming that was during the 70s.
Yeah, it was actually funny. I probably should talk about that in the Quran. I guarantee I would be killed. Okay, seriously, but I will tell you, there are funny Muslims. I've had conversations with them. Let's see. In its traditional form, it is worn by women to maintain modesty and privacy from unrelated males. Okay, I understand that. It was generally used for the Islamic rules of modesty and dress for females. I get that. I understand modesty. That was a big 50s, 60s thing. But when we showed the photos from a moment ago, maybe the miniskirts kind of, maybe that was it. The miniskirts happened, and then you were right, Jesse. They got a little out of whack, the men. And they go, whoa, that's too much skin, right? Right? I mean, in the 1910s and 20s, it was like if you saw a little bit of ankle, whoa, too much, right? That's called whoa, right? You're like, you can see grandma going, you are being immodest, young lady. You go change your little wardrobe there. You put on a hijab. Okay, well, all right. But, right, I mean, come on, in the sun? Do you think they get a little hot in the sun? I mean, I'm just saying, because they got the little, like, I can't see. According to the Encyclopedia of Islam and Muslim World, modesty in the Quran concerns both men and women's gaze, gait, garments, and... Oh, there it is. I shouldn't say that word. It starts with a G. The private areas. I'll just put that right. Okay. The Quran instructs Muslim women and men to dress modestly. Oh, whoa. Women and men to dress modestly. Do men wear these too, Jesse? Am I skipping something?
I have no idea.
Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I'm just thinking about the LGBTQ over there.
Oh, forget it. They're gonna be bad, I guarantee.
Yeah, I'm just.
Yeah. No. Some Islamic legal systems define this type of modest clothing as covering except everything, the face and hands up to the wrists. For men too? Like, you can't wear shorts? Like, too much skin on the legs? What's going on? These guidelines are found in texts of Hadith and Fiqh, developed after the revelation of the Quran, but, according to some, are derived from the verses, ayahs, referencing hijab in the Quran. Some believe that the Quran itself does not mandate that women wear hijab. What? Get out of town. The Quran does not. That makes sense. You know why? Even in Bible times, fellow prophets on the western side of town, even they talked about the women in such an unfashionable way. Seriously. They were like just divorcing every woman because they had like any woman that they could have, always going for the young lady. You know what I'm talking about? Yep, you ladies know exactly what I'm talking about. Happened then, happens now. Yeah, get it? Let's see. In the Quran, the term hijab refers to a partition or curtain in the literal or metaphorical sense. The verse where it is used literally is commonly understood to refer to the curtain separating visitors to Muhammad's house from his wife's lodgings. Well, they got that translation wrong. Of course. That's called a big curtain saying, keep my ladies separate. Yo, people, do not have my ladies. I get that. Muhammad was, I get that. He was kind of like, yo, those are my ladies. Stay away from them. I get that. This had led some to argue that the mandate of the Quran to wear hijab applied to the wives of Muhammad and not women generally. I get that. We had wives. I mean, you have wives and like, I picked the finest ones. Wearing hijab in public is not required by law in Saudi Arabia. It is required by law. It's a law now? Oh, boy. In Iran and the Indonesian province of, I'm not going to botch that word. They're going to hurt me later on. ACEH. Aki. Other countries, both in Europe and in the Muslim world, have passed laws banning some or let's see. I missed the part. Oh, there it is. These guidelines are found in texts of Hadith and Fiqh developed after the revelation. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, The interpretation has led some to claim that the mandate of the Quran to wear hijab applied only to the wives of Muhammad, not to entirely of women. I already read that. Women in different parts of the world have also experienced unofficial pressure to wear or not wear a hijab. Is that why we're killing people? All over a fashion statement? I'm not going to make Jesse comment on this. I'm going to go down on record saying this. I get dressing in a modest way due to the Quran. I mean, that goes back to the late 40s, technically. I get wanting to, keep it, the woman sacred, right? You protect the woman, right? You give her everything and then some. Like, if a Muslim man wants to love his wife, he's going to give her more than flowers. He's going to give her his everything. He's going to give her his love, his devotion, I'm going to protect you. I'm going to be keeping you safe because you are my wife. How many women did Muhammad have? I have no idea. But I do know he was a man of peace, not a man of war. I mean, granted, you got to protect your people, right, including your family. But there is a disagreement on how these instructions should be interpreted. Yeah, no duh. I'm looking at an informational source called Encyclopedia, Wikipedia. The verses relating to dress use the terms khimar, head cover, and jilbab, J-I-L, jilbab, dress or cloak. Well, a cloak is different than a dress. They combined it. They put a whole hood on the person. That's called going hood. That's not called a jilbab. Is it, or jilbab. Yeah, a dress or a cloak. Right, Jesse? A cloak would be cool. That would be like the medieval times. Right?
Yeah, a cloak would be cool. I'd rock a cloak.
You would rock a cloak. You'd be like, Dracula. I am now the Count Jesse Sanchez. Oh, be careful. You'd be like, I'm Count Jesus.
Oh, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
No, they respect Jesus. They respect Jesus. Muhammad was a fellow prophet of Jesus' day. Who knew that? Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, good to know. Moses too. You just don't say that God had a son. They don't believe in that. That part will get you beheaded. The rest you go, yo. Muhammad, Moses, Jesus, yeah, get it? They would totally agree. We hear you go hood. Let's go hood together and not wear a hood. So a dress or a cloak, I get that. But I get why people differ on this. Are we really fighting over this? This is really stupid. The more than 6,000 verses in the Quran, about half a dozen refer specifically to the way a woman should dress or walk in public. Are you kidding me? 6,000? How they should walk and dress? It's called a fashion statement. The clearest verse on the requirement of modest dress is Surah 24:31. Telling women to guard, I get this, their private parts, and draw their khimar over their bosoms. This is the quote. And Surah 24:31. And say to the believing women that they should lower their gaze and guard their private parts, that they should not display their beauty and ornaments except what must ordinarily appear thereof, that they should draw their khimar over their breasts and not display their beauty except to their husband, their fathers, their husband's fathers, their sons, their husband's sons, their brothers or their brothers' sons, or their sisters' sons, or their women, or the slaves, whom their right hands possess, or male servants free of physical needs, or small children who have no sense of the shame of sex, and that they should not strike their feet in order to draw attention to their hidden garments. Ornaments. I did not understand that. Wait. Say to the believing women that they should lower their gaze and guard their private parts, that they should not display their beauty and ornaments except what must ordinarily appear thereof, and that they should draw their khimar over their... Okay, I get it. Modesty, right? Don't be all like, look at me, Cinco de Domingo. I get that, right? That's called Instagram. Right, Jesse? You understand that? I get that.
Yeah, I get it.
Or letting your, like, yo, look at my, my bikini wax, right? That's called maybe a little too much for some of the, I get that. In the Surah 33:59, Muhammad is commanded to ask his family members and other Muslim women to wear outer garments when they go out so they're not harassed. That's called protection. Guaranteed he had beautiful women. He says, O Prophet, enjoin your wives, your daughters, and the wives of true believers that they should cast their outer garments over their persons when abroad. That is most convenient, that they may be distinguished and not be harassed. That's called way too beautiful. You know who else had that problem? Abraham and Sarah. Do you remember the story, Jesse?
I do not.
Sarah went into a land and had to claim her husband was her brother. The king wanted Sarah for himself so much he wanted her to be his wife, but he would have killed Abraham. So God had to intervene and technically come to Abraham's behalf and say, yo, king, not cool. Let my lady go and her husband go. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. She said, yeah, I know you. That's what God had to do. Now, is Muhammad a prophet? Of course. Is Moses a prophet? Of course. Is Jesus a prophet? Of course. You ask any smart-thinking Muslim woman and or man, and they'll say, of course. This is not the way to be of people. Beheading them for not wearing a hijab, which was a modern scarf-like situation, which even Muhammad might have put, I get a curtain separating. I mean, they had that in the holy place too. They're called the temple. A big curtain dividing the holiest of holies and then some, right? You can only be high priest before you go in. I get that. The Islamic commentators agree this verse refers to sexual harassment of women of Medina. It also seemed to refer to a free woman, for which Tabari cites and states that the hijab distinguishes free Muslim women from those of Jahiliyyah. So other men know they are free women and not slaves or prostitutes, indicating so covering oneself does not apply to non-Muslims. He cites Sufyan al-Tari as commenting that while it may be seen as permitting to look upon non-Muslim women who adorn themselves, it is not allowed to in order to avoid lust. You're right, Jesse. It's all about the men. Women have a problem with lust.
I told you this in all religions. I don't care which one you did. The men can't control themselves. And you know this.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I can control myself. I've been able to control myself pretty good.
No, I'm talking about like religious leaders in general, you know. Some of them can get a bit handsy.
That's true. A couple have been, I want to go with that. All right. Well, we got to take a break here. But look, here's my point, and I'm going to stick to it, okay? Afghanistan moved from the 50s and 60s to looking cool and modest to cover that all up and then behead them? No, that doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. So, Taliban, ISIS, where you get where you're going with this? You want to control the women for yourself. Bad. All right, people, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Quick question. Are you still broadcasting?
Who knows?
I don't think you are.
I have a problem watching on Facebook. Is that what Katya said? Oh, yeah, on Periscope. Well, she's on Periscope. Shadow says, good morning, Earthlings.
Well, I think on Facebook, I don't know. It locked me out. Like it's no longer allowed to view it.
I know what it is.
What?
It was that video I showed.
Oh, that would make sense.
Copyright.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Or the music, because I was streaming the music here on this side, so there's a possibility it heard the music and then it flagged it. Oh, well.
Possibly, yeah, that makes sense.
Or it's propaganda to let Afghanistanians know they got our support. But seriously.
I'm not gonna lie, what happened? What happened to like those pictures? It really did look like they went backwards in time.
Oh yeah, they totally did. They totally did. Yeah, just go to 1960s, 1970s. You'll totally see it. Thank you for picking us up on YouTube and on Periscope. Yeah, you guys remember Aaron M. Sanchez. Thank you for doing that. I see your comments there, by the way. Don't know how to bring up your comments on that.
If you're still trying to figure out how to start an online...
No, we can't. But yeah, there you go. Every call I get says potential spam. I'm tempted to pick it up, and then I'm not. Does that happen to you?
Oh yes, if there's a call I don't know and don't recognize the number, I'll come out with like a fake accent. I'm like, "Hello, can I help you today?" No, I'm only 7.
Oh God, don't do that one.
No, my mama's downstairs. How can I help you? I try and keep it straight, but
Okay. You do. Okay, you do the caller, demand money from me or something like that. Here we go. Go for it. Ring ring.
hello, can I talk to Mr. Aaron Sanchez, please?
Aaron Sanchez. Who's Aaron Sanchez?
No, I'm gonna get really gross right now.
Are you a pervert? Oh my God! You need to talk to my parents, Daddy.
What you need to do is you need
Are
to
you
go
talking
to
to
your,
my son? What's your name?
go to your,
What's your name?
parents,
I want
get
your
their credit card.
verification of your authenticity. Did you take your
Yeah.
vaccine?
We got 5 seconds.
Did you take your vaccine? You're coughing. I think you need to go to the hospital. Hang up now. We do not have money.
Here we go.
Welcome back. Yes, the morning show. You're on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. I appreciate each and every one of you. Jesse's trying to get launder money from you or something. I don't know what he's trying to do. You can't get it. You can't get it.
I'm not going to ask for a tree fitty.
Do you guys get bombarded by calls that say potential spam? I do. Are you upset with the potential spam? I am. Do you want them to stop? I do. Let somebody know about it and then just let it go because you can't stop it. They're just happening left and right. All right. Sometimes that's the way problems happen, right? They just come at you and you're like, what can I do to help it? Afghanistan. Coronavirus. What do I do? What do I do? I don't know. What do you do? We try to figure it out. Exactly. But it doesn't work. We have to simply just say, okay, let's calm down. Let's be cool about it. And let's just have some fun with the family. Call up a family member. Let them know you care for them. Maybe you've heard of somebody getting all sad or mad or angry as of late, maybe because they can't go out. Maybe because they're sick with coronavirus. I know with our family, we're kind of needing to check on some ones that got positive with the coronavirus. And I know some of you have commented that some of your own family members have gotten the coronavirus and such. So be careful out there, okay? We're going to do a quick little shout out. Stephanie Reed says, hello, happy editing this glorious sunshine. Really hot this busy, awesome day ahead. Love how she just put all that right there in one. I think it's supposed to be pretty warm here too. Right, Jesse? Let's see.
Yeah, I think it's going to reach the hundreds. Well, at least over here in the desert. So I don't know what temperature it is over there.
Yeah, exactly. Shadow 3413. Good morning, Earthlings. I like that. That's pretty good. Thank God we're Earthlings, right? But sometimes we don't act like Earthlings. You ever wonder about that, Jesse? Like, if I always wonder, okay, if you got the Taliban, ISIS, and one of the other terrorist organizations together, and you said, question, do you want to go to Mars? Do you want to be among the first to test pilot one of our shuttles? Do you think they would sign up for it, Jesse? What do you think?
Would the Taliban sign up for it?
Yeah.
I want to say no.
Really?
I'm assuming I don't think they will.
You don't think they'd be forward thinking at all?
No.
What if you told them there were a bunch of Martians there that were all wearing hijabs or there weren't, and they could, convert them? Do you think they would? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, you're trying to tempt them. Okay. I think they will if you're trying to tempt them. Be like, yeah, you can convert them over there.
I just feel like in the value of what do we do next in the future, do you want these terrorist organizations with a big shuttle with something that can explode, or do you not? Am I wrong on this, or am I right on this? I'm just saying.
No, you're right. I don't want to go in a rocket ship and have it risk blowing up.
Yeah. Like, do you want these people on the plane? The Taliban, you don't know this suicide, but to get into the mind, to create a suicide bomber out of nowhere, that's pretty scary stuff, right? I feel sorry for the suicide bomber.
The world stage in Afghanistan and well beyond.
Like, what did that person have to undergo to get so brainwashed and so in the headspace of, I'm going to attach a bomb to me, I'm going to blow my body parts up, I'm going to take out a bunch of people.
Right?
That's called misery.
I can't even imagine. I stubbed my toe and I cried like a baby.
Yeah. Let me put a lot of C4 and TNT in. Kaboom. I mean, that's like Wile E. Coyote's life. So he just wants to catch Roadrunner, poor guy. At least he could come back. These people can't come back. What kind of brainwashing, mental mind exercises do these people do to create suicide bombers? Right? Doesn't make sense. And yet people say, oh, we practice the Islamic faith, praise to Allah and Muhammad. Muhammad never suicide bombed himself, did he? I don't think so. I'm look, you could agree to disagree. I get it. I don't really care if you agree or disagree with me. I just think you're wrong if you take the side of somebody that wants to kill other people by creating mindless people, which I'm not saying they have no minds. They had a mind, but they got rid of their mind in such a way that they believed the wrong things to end their life and other people's as well, including kids, including children, including women, including men. That's not the way of Allah or the Father Supreme that helped create this earth. To bring that upon us here on this earth? No. Nope. That's called the evil on the earth. It needs to be wiped away, gone, ridden. Literally. See ya. That I can understand. And I can understand perspective of one going, yeah, but the U.S. does so much bad, so we're just going to bomb them and then send, well, people attached with bombs? I'd say, hey, yo, leaders. Yeah, let's attach a bunch of bombs to you. Let's put you on the plane. Let's see where you go. Nah, it's okay. I'm going to stay back here. We got people that sign up for that stuff. Right? I think that's the way they talk, Jesse. How do they recruit the minds of people, whether young, old, or otherwise, to do these things? Do they hold them as ransom? Do they say we're going to kill your family if you don't do this? What do they do, Jesse? What are your thoughts?
Good question. Most likely the person is probably like weak-minded, or not necessarily weak-minded, but just like they have some problems with their life. So they're like, hey, yeah, we can help you, get them to love you, do all the things for them, and then you know what? These people will do whatever they want.
I'm going to read something that brings some perspective to us as to the type of mentality that we're dealing with. Because I think, Biden, you forgot a little bit. You need to remember this. Since the attack on the World Trade Center on September 11th, this is an article, The Human Use of Human Beings, A Brief History of Suicide Bombing. The world has grown accustomed to reports of suicide bombers, right? You hear it, you just kind of go, oh, okay, all right, got it, suicide bomber, got it. That's all you think. Now, it says they are often portrayed as deluded or crazed, and they hold an almost lurid fascination for their willingness to kill themselves while killing others. A historian, Jeffrey William Lewis, put that many of us see as a recent phenomenon in a longer historical perspective. He argues that it is more useful to think about suicide bombers as a type of human military technology that is controlled by an organization rather than as a form of individual fanaticism. Well, that makes sense. It's called an organized way to take your brain and blow it up, right? Yeah. It says, on February 1st, 2013, a suicide bomber killed himself and a security guard at America's embassy in Ankara, Turkey. This attack, carried out more than a decade after 9/11, reveals a great deal about the phenomenon we have come to know as suicide bombing. It says, a radical left-wing group with an agenda, obviously, claimed responsibility, demonstrating that suicide bombing is not the exclusive domain of religious fanatics. That was a radical left-wing group, right? That's what a Marxist agenda, right, in the area. Second, the bomber detonated his explosives before he had the opportunity to enter the embassy complex. Shows that individual initiative and fallibility are important aspects of the organizational process of suicide bombing. Finally, The attack confirms that suicide bombing will continue to be a dangerous security nuisance for the foreseeable future. Now, a decade, this was as of this writing, we've been 2 decades, by the way, 20 years. After the attacks on the World Trade Center, suicide bombing remains mysterious to Americans, right? It says if we step back and examine not only the mindset of the bombers, but the motivations that deploy them and the cultures that approve of their violence, suicide bombing becomes understandable as a type of weapon. You think? It's an alternative technology, the systematic mechanization of human beings that confers upon militant groups many of the same capabilities of the sophisticated weapon systems of advanced states. Suicide bombing finds its origins in 19th century Russia. It's been employed from Japan to the Middle East to Sri Lanka and elsewhere. To succeed, the suicide bombing needs 3 factors. 1, willing individuals. 2, organizations to train and use them. Oh yeah, they train them. And a society willing to accept such acts in the name of a greater good. This is the wrong way to let people just be literally, what is it, mind controlled? This is the world we live in. And we have to be willing to say no. There are some things known as here, right, where you have people doing mass suicides, right? We've had it, Waco, Texas, right? We remember that. You got to step in. That's called a bad situation, right? That's where a cult ends up happening. Is that what is happening here? Is this a cult? I would say so. You have a cult type situation happening. Cults aren't good, people. You know why? They create problems for everyone. You have a few people that say they do one thing, but at the end of the day, what is it they want? Very rarely anything good. Very rarely anything for peace. Come on, they don't want peace. And we know that. So what are we going to do? Well, I think Biden's on the right idea. Says we're going to not take it sitting down, right? In effect, we will hunt you down. We will hunt you down and make you pay. To those who carried out this attack, as well as anyone wishes America harm, know this: we will not forgive. We will not forget. Whoa, whoa, whoa! I think we forgot 9/11, people. Don't forget that. It says we will hunt you down and make you pay. I will defend our interests and our people with every measure at my command. Okay, I'll give you that. He revealed that he has ordered military commanders to develop operational plans to strike ISIS-K assets, leadership, and facilities. It says we will respond with force and precision in our time. That's called we do not give away our game plan. In a place we choose in a manner of our choosing. In other words, we're fighting back. That's called we're going next level. And I say, good job. They might seem big, but boy, oh boy, are they broken up into several organizations for a reason. They don't get along. They get along to take you guys out, but that's about it. Now, I know a lot of you go, who are the Taliban, right? The group dates to 1994 and controlled Afghanistan until the U.S. and NATO invaded in 2001. They regrouped over the past 2 decades. As recently as February, they were thought to have fewer than, get this, Jesse, 100,000 fighters. That's it? Now, Al-Qaeda, you've heard about Al-Qaeda all the time, right?
Yeah.
Well, according to this, the Taliban have kept Al-Qaeda in check. They're a group of organization, right? I always thought Al-Qaeda was Al, and his last name was Qaeda. No, I'm joking. I'm messing with you. That didn't work there for you, huh, Jesse? No, not working?
Nope, not at all.
Got it. They pledged in 2020 to prevent Al-Qaeda, the Taliban, and other terror groups from using Afghan soil. Afghanistan, get it? But experts say many of the prisoners released by the Taliban sympathize with Al-Qaeda and could regroup what's left of Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan. Oh, good. But one keeps one in check. We tell you what to do. No, you don't. We're Al-Qaeda's, man. We're the Talibans. Oh, okay, you rule us. Who are ISIS-K? ISIS Khorasan is a branch of the ISIS terror group that first emerged in Syria and Iraq. While the affiliates share an ideology and tactics, The depth of the relationship with regards to organization and command and control have never been entirely established. That's called the Mistress Lady. ISIS-K has been orchestrating attacks in Kabul since 2016 and is a sworn enemy of the Taliban. But they get in bed with each other all the time. Look, there's going to be continued problems here. You know why? These people can't even learn to get along. They don't even know what to call each other. They just go, I rule you. No, I rule you. No, I rule you. No, I rule you. That's it. That's what it is. It's a power grab. They don't even know what they want at the end of the day. I think they just want the women. I really do. I think that's all they know to have. I say, go in, take them out, put some smart people in play, and get back out. Oh, and get our military gear back, right? Doesn't that make sense? No? Maybe so? Am I being too opportunistic?
Oh, we need all our stuff back.
Yeah.
We do.
Look at that. That's the groups vying for power in Afghanistan. No. Well, they're dressing modest, I'll give you that. But boy, have they gone backwards in time. Seriously, what happened there with their fashion? Oh, I know. They're not keeping the ladies happy, which can help keep their fashion up to date. You ever have a lady trying to, give you more fashion sense? They got no ladies. I can tell you that. They got no fashion sense. All right, people, we're out of time. Make it a great day with whatever you do. Stay safe, and definitely wear a face mask. We'll see you next weekend. Wait, no. Oh, we're back Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye, everyone. And for the rest of you, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. I know I make a joke of it. But look, at the end of the day, we have to make sure we're all safe. Australia and New Zealand are ending their evacuation missions from Kabul. They are just saying, forget it. I think that's the wrong move for Australia and New Zealand. Kabul death toll have increased to more than 90 Afghans killed. 150 have been wounded. That's according to the Afghan Health Ministry. 90 people killed. There are more than 150 people wounded. That's a terrible situation to find yourself in. All for what? Power, glory, brainwashing people. We can't let that happen. We have problems here on the home front, and Biden alluded to it, right? Biden alluded to it. God forbid that be the scene right here. I can guarantee you it will happen eventually. You cannot let up on these terrorist organizations. That's all they do. They bring terror to the people that they say they want to help. Nah, they don't want to help. Who are they fooling? Not you or I. Nope. All right, people, I'm out of time, but make it a great day. Stay safe.